Sup, it's Sydney. This morning I woke up and just had the most fun, spunky idea ever to share a side of myself that I normally have trouble sharing with close friends and just let the entire internet see it, so I don't know why. Someone help. You know, if I went to a therapist, they would probably tell me I do need to open up more and let my feelings out, but since I save my money and don't go to therapy and just trap all of my feelings inside forever, I don't know how to feel about this video, but we're gonna be baking while we talk about our feelings and such. Please be nice to me in the comments because as you can see, this makes me moderately uncomfortable, but 2019 is all about trying new things. Am I right, ladies?
Yes.
Get it, girls.
Woo! Yes, queen.
I asked you guys on Instagram for some topics that you wanted me to kind of discuss. We're gonna start off a little slow because that's what I can handle, all right? Did you have any insecurities growing up? I definitely did, especially physically. I'm kidding. Well, not about the insecurity part, but about the crack. But one of the main insecurities I had is that I had hairy arms. I still do to this day, as you can see. Instagram comments about it still kind of get on my nerves. If you guys didn't know, which you probably didn't because I don't really talk about it, I'm half Puerto Rican, so I naturally have dark arm hair. And when I was younger, a lot of the kids at my school were predominantly white, and I think that they were just kind of confused because their arm hair was usually blonde or a lot lighter than mine. And so some of the kids would just raise questions or say things that kind of offended me and made little Sydney sad. I was called gorilla arms a few times, and that really hurt my feelings because it is offensive, and although the kids that were saying this were young, it definitely hurt my feelings a lot. And so summer was my favorite season, but whenever it would come around, I would always be insecure and I'd want to like wear long sleeves, or I would always have my arms crossed, which I still do to this day, not necessarily for that reason, but
it was at this moment
She fricked
up.
I was supposed to put it in a teaspoon, and that was a fat tablespoon. Off to a great start. If you didn't know, I can't bake. Honestly, it's not an insecurity that I've fully gotten over. I just see it more of, it's not my problem that my arm hair is dark and different. It's other people's problems whenever they insult me for it. So, you know, personal growth. What happened to you senior year? Not a lot of good things. I had a rough senior year for a lot of different reasons. My parents told us that they were getting divorced right before my senior year started, so we weren't off to the best start. And then in the winter, specifically New Year's, my house flooded to the point where we had to move out for 3 months, so that wasn't super fun. My grandpa's cancer came back, and my dad was diagnosed with cancer. So I'm not saying this to like make people feel bad for me or anything. It already happened. I'm working on getting through all that fun stuff, but that in culmination really just did not make for a fun senior year, as you can probably imagine. Yeah, that's good. Sorry, Mom, for using all of your unsalted butter. If you want, you can Venmo request me for it. Okay. What's the song about mixing butter?
This kid's definitely on crack right now.
I think whenever I barely posted at the beginning of my senior year, a lot of you guys kind of, oh my god, I can't talk and do this. Can't wait for that to be clogging my arteries. Where I really started to see a lot of people noticing that I was a bit different was in my what I got for Christmas video that year, and a lot of people were just saying like, you seem so unhappy, you seem depressed, and all of that kind of thing. I like how I just have to pause to bake. I had to split time between my parents that Christmas, which sucked and was super uncomfortable. One of my friend's dog died, and I was just very not doing well. But I still did the thing. I filmed and edited and uploaded my what I got for Christmas video that day because I think I wanted something to be normal, but you can just tell in that video that it wasn't and I was not having a good time. I'm almost kind of happy that I didn't post a ton of videos during that time because honestly I don't really want to be reminded of it sometimes, and I think people pointing it out to me really made me take a step back and just evaluate. And then whenever I came back and started making videos again, it felt so much better because it wasn't a forced activity. It was something that I actually wanted to do and that did make me feel better. So what was the question again? Do you feel like you can show your true self on YouTube? Yes and no. What you guys see is 100% me. I act the same way in front of you guys as I do in front of my friends. I just feel like sometimes it isn't received the same way. Like at this point, all of my close friends know how I am. They know that I am very blunt. They know that I'm sarcastic. They kind of understand my humor. And I feel like you guys do too. But as soon as a video kind of steps outside of who's actually subscribed to me, it's a whole different story. It's no one's fault and it doesn't really bother me anymore because I kind of expect it, but I've been told many times by a lot of my friends that they didn't like me at first and I kind of took some warming up to. My personality is just kind of bold and it can be seen as annoying or maybe a little rude sometimes, but I have good intentions, I swear. I feel like that's what every evil person says, but I really do.
Why did I just wink? Now it makes it seem like I'm insincere, you idiot.
It is kind of hard whenever people assume that I'm rude or I'm trying to be mean when I'm really not trying to be. I'm just trying to be funny and it just doesn't work. You know, if you think about it, it's kind of like the whole Cody Ko, Jake Paul thing where Cody Ko was called a cyberbully for poking fun at people and making jokes, and that's kind of what I do or try to do. I'm just way less funny. The difference is I'm far too irrelevant to be called out by Jake Paul, which I'm not really mad at. Not that bad, especially considering I added way too much baking powder. Woohoo, let's hope they don't explode. I actually don't know what kind of effect baking powder has on things, but I feel like they could explode. A lot of people asked why I never talk about my dad, why I don't show him on camera, if I have a dad. So here's the deal. When my parents divorced, I was told that the cause of it was for a different reason than what it actually was. And I kind of slowly discovered the truth my senior year. It's really hard to put into words because I know that my dad still watches my videos and I can try to tell my perspective, but by doing so, I know that I'm revealing other things that maybe other people wouldn't want revealed. In short, and I feel like we would both agree to this, we don't have the same relationship that we used to. We used to be close, and now we're not, and we don't really talk that often, and that's something that I've needed to do in order to heal and kind of get over these things. I don't like not having a good relationship with people or hurting other people's feelings, but there comes a point where it's too harmful for me to have the relationship at a given time. I hope everyone can understand that. I know a lot of people are very opinionated on that sort of topic, but just know that the full story hasn't been said. But that's just how I feel right now in this moment, and I hope that everyone can respect that. And I know that you guys will because you're super nice, but I don't know, it just kind of makes me uncomfortable to talk about things. We're gonna pop these little jokesters in the oven and hope that they turned out okay, which they probably won't, but while those are baking, I'm gonna, make out with these little doodads and talk about more of these things. Why were you mad at YouTube, LOL? I think you were. Yeah, I was. I love YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I am so grateful to be in this position, and also super undeserving. However, it kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. Not any of you, not my lovely subscribers, not any of that stuff, but the big company type attitude that YouTube has really just grinds my gears. If you don't follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you probably wouldn't know, but YouTube recently, like a couple weeks ago, went berserk on my channel and copyrighted a ton of my videos. Basically every video I've ever posted that has been considered popular. And I should be a little bit more specific. It's not YouTube that did this. It's YouTube that enabled the policies to allow this, but it was bigger companies. I'm not gonna say their names because I don't wanna get sued, but big music groups.
Hello?
Hello. You wanna introduce yourself and how you're doing? This video is about how we're all doing recently. Come on in, tell them how you are. Really good, obviously. Hi. 2 nights ago, my mom tripped when it was dark outside and broke her big toe.
I'll try to show you, but let's see if
Oh
I
my
can
God,
show
don't
you.
die.
Ta-da! I do not recommend.
We don't recommend breaking our big toes.
Don't do it.
And we went to
That is
the ER.
good.
I know. Are you surprised I made something good?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But anyways, now she's
Right.
on crutches.
And it hurts. It's like so, it's like raw
Oh,
here.
did you not put the cloth underneath like I told you?
Not yet. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
go
I
rest.
thought. Now I forget what I was answering. Oh, it's mad at YouTube, obviously.
Oh.
There's only one way to fix this, and it isn't a surefire way, but you have to go into each video individually and then replace the 1 second of audio that's been copyrighted with a different track. And it's very tedious and complicated because things don't line up and I have to rewatch all of my old videos, which kind of makes me want to die a little bit. What happens then after is you have to file a dispute with the claimant, which is those big music groups, which I did do. And then what happened was some of the videos got rejected. That means that I replaced the audio, did what I was supposed to, filed a claim, did exactly what I was supposed to, and they got back to me and said, we're gonna continue to copyright this video even though now we own nothing in this video because the audio track has been replaced. And that is what we like to call not fair. You can file an appeal to their decision, so it's like a second dispute, but what happens is if you're wrong, your channel could be deleted. Just
yeeted out of existence.
it's just very discouraging and something needs to change, but I feel like I basically have no voice or power in getting that change to happen. Oh my god, I'm really not even strong enough. I kind of want to start frosting these before they're cool because I'm impatient. I mean, they're actually burning hot right now, but what's the worst that could happen? I mean, you know, these had potential, but I just had to go and ruin them. This video has to be 87 years long now and probably super boring, so we're gonna conclude it. Thanks for allowing me to have like a full hour and a half of free therapy. That's always fun. We love a college girl on a budget. I just want everyone to know that although I talked about some not fun parts of my life, I am doing well recently, surprisingly. I am really happy right now, so that's why I felt like I could talk about these things because I feel a little bit more removed from them. If you're going through something, I know that you have the power to get through it. I used to not believe when people said that, but now I do, so I'm gonna say it to you, even though you've probably heard it a million times and it's probably super annoying, just being honest out here. I love you all so much. I'm actually kind of proud of the outcome of these cupcakes, and you're all just the finest people ever, and I'm not just saying that because I gotta put my hand over the camera, even though I kind of am. Okay, bye!